Welcome everybody to Miami. We are here for the third round of the Season 3 Championship here in Group 1. Welcome back everybody. If you are new to LSR, please make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel to see more content on Group 1 and Group 2 action from Lightning Speed Racing. And if you're enjoying the commentary so far, make sure to like as well. That really helps us out. So, let's talk about the track. Well, we're here in Miami for the first ever race on this track here in LSR. It's going to be a great one, and we're here at the Miami International Autodrome. It's got 19 turns to make up a 3-mile long track. It's also got 3 DRS zones, help encourage overtaking for around here. The best place is going to be down into turn 17, and I'm sure we'll get many more overtakes besides that particular overtaking zone. Alrighty, so you join us with about 16 minutes remaining of the qualifying session. We have about a 19-car grid. We have a driver coming in, I do believe. There we go. As we say, Elian does join the session. Very good. So, thank you so much for joining us so far. If you guys, like I said, are new to the channel, please make sure to subscribe and also join our Discord link. We have some few more spaces left in Group 2. This is Group 1. So the Group 1 grid is currently full, but the Group 2 grid still has some spaces left. So if you want to get into the action, definitely join our Discord. Oh, we see Zayek spinning there in the Scuderia Ferrari car. That's unfortunately going to be the end of his lap, but he will continue on with another one once he cools down those tires. But I also want to mention that if you guys have any questions or any predictions or anything you want to talk about, please let us know down in the comments below. I'll try and respond to all the comments as much as possible. But I'm Former the Jonah, your commentator for the LSR season and for the Group 1 Miami Grand Prix. I'm also the co-owner and founder of LSR as well. But yeah, let's take it on board with Not Sir Vapor, the Alfa Romeo driver, for a full lap of this Miami Grand Prix circuit. So down to turn 1, a very tricky turn 1, as there's not a lot of space to make an overtake, but the drivers can just get through. Turn 2 and turn 3 do not hit those curbs very much. You can spin the car very easily. That's the traction zone. Down a straight up to around 7th, not into 8th. You do not want to go into 8th gear. You can shift down to 6th as you come through the S's. You're going to have a lot of understeer into turn 7 right here. This is going to be difficult for drivers. They're going to go wide like Not Sir Vapor did. Thankfully, he did not get invalidation. Onto the curb, up the hill for turn 8, turn 9, turn 10, down to turn 11 for the second DRS zone. This is going to be a very powerful DRS zone, but it's going to be hard to follow the car since it's very twisty, but the drivers can make an overtake into this turn as Not Sir Vapor breaks down into turn 11 as he's going to exit onto the curb as Ickle Bickle sets the fastest lap into the chicane. It's a very difficult chicane on the track. You want to get those curves. You want to hit it right in the middle and then up the hill into turn 16. Don't hit the wall on the right, under the bridge, onto that really long straight. Accelerate. Increase the gear shifting. Up the hill we come and down that long straight. You're going to see speeds of around 210 miles per hour. Of course, that depends on setups as well. And you're going to decelerate as much as possible into turn 17 right here as we come down into the final heavy braking zone, traction zone as well. You can get very close to the curb to the right there and even onto it as well. Round the final corner we come, turn 19 to the line. Not Sir Vapor has set a 129.0 and puts it up into P4. Alfa Romeo with a 4th and 5th position. Very good to see from both Alfa Romeo cars. Now, I do want to mention that we had a great race in Saudi Arabia last time out. If you guys did miss that one, definitely go check it out. It's on our YouTube channel. It's got a Ferrari on the cover. That one was won by Seb Lafleur, as he now actually goes fastest overall as we're talking about him. So the Williams driver scored his first ever win in LSR, had a great race in Saudi Arabia, really dominated that one by taking pole position and the win. Kind of a Felipe Massa 2007 Turkish Grand Prix reminder there, as Massa also scored his first pole and win on the same year and track. Alrighty, so we are racing with Seb Lafleur on top as Ickle Bickle second, and Tom in P3. Williams going really nicely so far. Vacant Haddock, who was unable to make the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, is sitting 4th, so he's back for Miami and ready to score some good points in this one. Acid Masters has said in the comments below, possible rain in the race. Thank you so much for letting us know. So that is going to be very interesting to know, that there is going to be possibility of rain in the upcoming Miami Grand Prix. So this is going to be very interesting. Okay, so we have a lot of drivers kind of coming into the pit lane now. They are going to be finishing their final laps before they head into the pit lane, review the data, and go out for that final push lap. Because the first part of qualifying is really just about kind of setting a lap, getting that lap in, getting comfortable with the track and the tires and your setup, and then getting prepared for the official race, of course. Now, I do want to mention this driver right here. This is the co-owner and co-founder of LSR, my good friend Sequit, who is at his home Grand Prix for the Mercedes team. This is also the Season 1 champion you are witnessing now on your screen. So he's returning here in Season 3 in the Mercedes car here in Miami. So I want to see what he can do. He's currently down in P13, yet to set a lap time, but he's about to, as he's going to come to the line, start his first lap of the day, as he comes down to turn 1 in that beautiful silver and green Mercedes. And he's gonna, and Sequit spins, but thankfully saves the car, but he gets too much on that curb. That may have affected his lap, and I think he'll pull out of that one. So he's gonna have to take this lap as a cool-down lap and then go out for another one, I'm assuming. So we'll see how that works out. Mango, the pole sitter from Australia, hasn't validated his time. Now, Saudi Arabia didn't really go well in qualifying for Mango in the race. It turned out to be great because he started P15 after a very difficult qualifying session, wasn't able to get a lap in. Now, will he be able to get a lap in here today in Miami? We will find out. But he started P15 in that race and finished third. A great recovery drive, and ended up getting driver of the day as well, unsurprisingly, from starting in the 15th position. So we'll see what he can do. Hopefully he can set a lap time today. So NYR in the Ferrari is coming down the straight into turn 17. We come. Meanwhile, another driver, that's actually NYR's teammate Zayek, who's just gone into third fastest, a 128.2. Can his teammate join him into the top 5? NYR to the line now. What can Ferrari do? It is only P7, but a good lap by NYR regardless, as both Ferraris showing some strong pace. Ferrari haven't really had the start that they imagined to the season. Hopefully, this is where they turn it around. Sequit goes P3 even with that slight spin at turn 2, so showing that Sequit's definitely got the pace and possibility of pole position for the Mercedes driver. The last time he got pole position, I'm trying to remember what it was. I do believe it was in Season 2. I want to say it was Italy, but I have to check my records and all that sort of thing to find out exactly when was the last time our owner and founder of the league got pole position, as there is an Alpine round. I do believe that is Elian Bayan or Acid Masters. Let's see. I do believe that is Elian Bayan, and he's going to exit on track. Hopefully, he can get out on track before the game disqualifies him. He should. And yes, he does. So he'll have another opportunity to go for a lap. STR Tano, let's talk about the Aston Martin driver as he gets out of the way for a oncoming McLaren that's on a lap. Tano had a pretty good race in Saudi Arabia, was battling away with Seville, Flair, and others for the win. Eventually got P2, his first podium of the season. Now the question is, will the Aston Martin driver be able to take another one in this race? We will find out. Now, in terms of the championship standings, I quickly want to talk about that. Meanwhile, Tom in the Williams, let's take an onboard with Tom as he goes P4 ahead of Zayek and puts the second Williams into the top. Oh, and that is an Alpine spinning around. I do believe that might be Elian Bayan, but I'm not exactly sure. Maybe those tires are still too hot for the Alpine driver. SSL Mango now goes fast overall by 0.4 of a second. What a lap for the McLaren driver. Australia was pole position. Could this be a second pole for Mango here in Group 1 as he goes around 0.3 of a second faster than Ickle Bickle's lap time, and McLaren are currently on provisional pole position here in Miami. What a lap from Mango, but also what a lap from Ickle Bickle. He went faster than Seville Flair and put it up into second fastest, so very good lap time from the Red Bull driver. Now, is there anyone else on a lap time? We're just looking around the grid now. I think Vacant is on a lap. We're also watching, I do believe that's the Williams of Tom, and I do believe he's He's down by more than a second, actually. So I do believe this is an in-lap for the Williams car. So I think we'll go on board with Vacant next as he goes purple in the second sector. So the home race for the Haas team, they're going to need a good result today. Let's see what they can do. Of course, D'Angelo isn't able to make the race, which is a little unfortunate, but that's okay. Vacant's got Pro Striker, who's another quick driver reserving for the Haas team. But what can Vacant do? Currently P7 on the grid. He goes to the line, stays P7 as he's down by around 4/100ths of a second from his previous lap time. So he's going to stay in 7th. And who's next to come across the lap time? Is that Ickle Bickle? No, he's actually coming into the pit lane now. I think we're seeing an Alfa Romeo next to come across the lap time. That's going to be 8,000 RPM in the Alfa Romeo car. Not Vapor out on a lap as well. So both Alphas looking to improve. They had a pretty strong qualifying session earlier on. Let's see if they can continue that in the later stages of Miami. Actually, 8,000 is going to come into the pit lane. So it looks like both Alphas, as Not Vapor's also got no wins, so I do believe both Alfa Romeos will be, unfortunately, pitting and staying P8 and P9 for now. Alrighty, so it looks like everybody's waiting for that final lap, that final push lap for the qualifying to see who will be getting pole position today. The question is, will Mango's lap be beaten? Let us know down in the comments if you think so, and let us know who you think is getting pole position. In my opinion, I think Mango's gonna get it, but you know, anyone else could get it as well. Sevlaflare going out for his lap. Let's see what he can do. Of course, he took pole position last time out in Saudi Arabia, so could he deny Mango? If it's Mango or Sevlaflare, one of them will be getting their second pole this season. The question is, who? Or will it be someone else like Ickle Bickle or Secret? One of them could be getting pole position in this race. We'll have to find out if they can. Of course, there's still some other drivers yet to set some lap times. I'm curious to see what Tano is going to be able to do. Currently down in P18 with no laps set. I expect him to be up there. And viewers, just want to say as well, thank you so much for joining us. I've seen a few people come into the live stream, and definitely send the stream as well to your friends and anyone who's interested in league racing like this. And tomorrow we should be having our first live stream for the Group 2 Season 3 season. The first race in Australia went really well. We had Bamboo winning his first race in LSR, followed by Crooner, I do believe, and I do believe Journey was in third position. So Group 2 went really well, and they're heading to Saudi Arabia next, and that'll be tomorrow, same exact time. Hopefully we'll be streaming that one as well. As we see Sevlaflare getting a little bit out of shape out the exit of turn 17. He's going to come to the line now. Can he improve on his time? He does improve on his time and goes into second fastest with a 127.3. Not on provisional pole, but he's only 2/10 behind Mango. So that is seriously competitive from Sevlaflare. And we could see him going even faster. STR Tano jumps it into the top 5. Aston Martin now put themselves into a really good position as Tano puts a 127.9. Just a few 100ths of a second ahead of Sequit in that race for P4 currently. But I'm assuming Sequit is going to go out for another lap time. Meanwhile, I do believe we just had another driver come across. I do believe that was Eat My Dust in the Red Bull. This is his first. Oh, as he spins. He spins on the exit at turn 2. I wonder if that was an in-lap for the Red Bull driver. It looks like it was. But still, unfortunate to see that. But it is his first race here in LSR as an official driver. He raced in the pre-season race in, I do believe it was Britain. Yeah, he's racing here in Miami for the first time in the season. So second race as a LSR driver. Let's see what he can do in the Red Bull. As Breach wasn't able to make the race today, he is going to be out. But Eat My Dust will be replacing the Red Bull driver for today's Grand Prix. So who do we think is going to get pole position? Could it be Mango? Could it be Sevlaflare? Ickle Bickle, Tano, Sequit, Tom, Zayak, Eat My Dust. You know, anyone could grab pole today. Let's find out who. Show Me in the AlphaTauri is coming around turn 10. I do believe he's going to get some slipstream from the Aston Martin ahead. Usually Xiaomi is in the Mercedes, but today he's in the AlphaTauri. His points will still count for the Mercedes team, but he is currently driving for the AlphaTauri team just for today. And he's going to exit turn 12 into 13, into that very tricky chicane where drivers have to be right on the limit if they're going to get a good exit and not ruin their lap time. Xiaomi exits turn 16. This will be one of his final laps of the day. He is up by 9/10 of a second, almost a second. So this should put him around P9, P8. So looking to be a good lap, as it looks like we have two drivers retiring from the session. I do believe they are in the pit lane and feel that they are done. So Tano will not be on pole. Neither will Eat My Dust. Xiaomi is going to improve. I don't think this is good enough for pole, but it is going to jump him in to P8. So Xiaomi in the AlphaTauri goes into a 128.6. Very good lap time from Xiaomi, and he'll be starting P8 at best at the moment. But he does have some time left. He might be able to go out for another lap, so we'll see what he can do a little bit later on. SSL Mango now goes even faster, a 126.9, jumps into the 126s. My, oh my, what a lap that was from Mango, and that might have just solidified pole position for the South African as Mango goes into P1, and Sevlaflare, can he improve on his time and go around 4 to 5 tenths faster? I don't know. But we'll see. He's gonna... Oh, actually, he's invalidated this time, and he's only got 13 seconds left, so Sevlaflare, unfortunately, will not be on pole position. He'll be starting P2 at best, because he doesn't have enough time to make it to the flag. What about Icklebickle, though? No, he is invalidated, so he stays in P3. Tom improves to 4th position. What a start for the Williams car. What about Sequit, though? In the Mercedes, coming through turn 7, can he possibly go up into the top positions? We have to find out. Xiaomi is down on his time, so he is not improving. What about Vacant Haddock in the Haas using slipstream from his teammate Pro Striker, who's going to be starting P15. Haas, we'll see how this works out. Vacant Haddock currently in the top 10, but I'm sure he would like an even higher position in this race. Using that slipstream for the Haas, I'm sure helped him out. But Vacant coming to the line now, currently P10, stays P10, so he will be P10 at best in this upcoming event. But the question is, what about Sequit? He's up by 0.2 of a second. Currently, that'll put him around P4. Pro Striker gets a 5-place grid penalty for legal blocking, but surprisingly, he's finished the session. So that's his AI that has given him that penalty, which is very unfortunate. That seems to be a glitch there, but it's all good. Sequit round the final couple corners. It will not be pole position, most likely, but he's going to exit turn 19, and he's going to start P4 in this race. Good lap from Sequit, a 127.6. Zayak is, I think, coming into the pit lane, so not Sir Vapor was the final driver that was going to set a lap time, but he's also coming into the pit lane. So it is, for the second time this season, SSL Mango on pole position here in Miami. McLaren start on pole. He is the only driver to get into the 126s. Very good lap time from SSL Mango. Now the question is, will he be able to hold off Sevlaflare, Icklebickle, Sequit, and Tom down into turn 1? Well, I guess we're about to find out. What a qualifying session here in Miami. For the first time at this track, SSL Mango will be the first pole sitter in Miami. What a great race for him. It's also his 4th pole position in LSR. He grabbed one back in Season 1 with the Scuderia Ferrari team. He grabbed a second one at France in Season 2 with Red Bull in Group 2. And then he grabbed the 2 here this season. One in Australia, now one in Miami. SSL Mango on pole. Seville Flair starts second for the Williams team. Ickle Bickle is third, followed by Sequit, Tom, STR Tano, Zayak, Shahomi, Eat My Dust, and Vacant Haddock rounds off the grid for the Haas team here at their home race in Miami. All right, so we're heading into the race now. We could be seeing some rain in the upcoming race as well, so that's going to be interesting. We will see what happens there. But yeah, this is the third round of the season 3. And yeah, it's been a great race for the first two ones in Australia and Saudi Arabia. Admittedly, those are two very difficult tracks, but we're starting to get into the more comfortable tracks as we're going to head to Spa-Francorchamps next for round 4, the first time that track hasn't hosted the first race of the season here in LSR. But we're here in Miami as we will be getting ready to go here in Florida for the first time ever in LSR history. And as I mentioned, I can't speak. As I mentioned previously, if you guys are new to our YouTube channel, please make sure to subscribe. This really does help us out. We are on the road to 100 subscribers. That would be awesome if we can reach it. I think we're almost at 80, so just about 20 or so subscribers more, and we could be at 100. So yeah, and if you're enjoying the commentary as well and the racing, definitely like the stream as well. But yeah, let's get into the racing here in Lightning Speed Racing. We have a comment coming in. Tano for the win. All right, well, that's Sparks prediction time. We have, of course, that comment that came in. Thank you so much, Danny, for letting us know who you think will be getting the win today. So he thinks Tano will be getting the Grand Prix win. Well, you know, starting P6, Tano could do it. Honestly, he very much could. And with rain coming into the race as well, that could change up things. But yeah, who do we think is going to get pole position, or sorry, the win today? Let us know down in the comments below. I personally think that Seville Flair will be getting his second win of the season. This season, we've had 2 different winners, one of which being Betham, the reserve driver for Aston Martin. He grabbed the win in Australia. Seville Flair grabbed the win in Saudi Arabia. Here in Miami, we could see a very different story. We could see someone new on top. Maybe we can even break the record, because 2012 F1 saw 7 different winners at the start of the season. We could see possibly that, but we'll find out. Later on, probably at Singapore and Abu Dhabi, we'll find out if that record gets broken. But anyway, if you look at the grid, if you look at the leaderboard here, we see a very different tire strategy from different drivers. We have pretty much the majority of the grid is on hards, which is very interesting. So that means that these drivers have to warm up those tires a lot during this formation lap. That's why I think it's not really a fast formation lap, just because these drivers are kind of just warming up these tires, getting ready for the start of the race. However, Sequit and Tom are on mediums, as well as Vacant and the 2 Alfa Romeos. Acid Masters is on the soft, the only driver to start on the softest compounded tires, so he'll be starting. Oh, and he's actually left the session as I say that. Commentator's curse, unfortunately. Hopefully he can rejoin the session. Predicted pit stop strategy there. Hards to mediums seems to be the best strategy. I definitely have to agree with that one. However, with the rain coming in, that could completely change things up, and of course safety cars as well. Now, we're just hoping for a good race. We're hoping for a very clean... Oh, is that a Seville Flair spinning off? He's going to come back on track, and he'll get to the line as SSL Mango will start the grid. Acid Masters rejoins the session, so that's very good. But here we go. Who will lead us down into turn 1? Will we see some action? Will we see some overtaking? Will we see some side-by-side action into the first couple corners here in Miami? Let's find out. So, the 29 laps await us for the Miami Grand Prix. We're just waiting for those lights to go out and the formation lap to finish. So here we go. It is 1 light, 2 light, 3 light, 4 light, 5 lights, and lights out and away we go here in Florida. It's a great start for the front 2. Seville Flair gets a better one. Down to turn 1, he leads us the way. Mango did not have a very good start. It's 3 wide. Thomas pushed a little bit wide. Sequit moves into P2. SSL Mango is trying to fight back the Mercedes and does get ahead of the Mercedes car, but Sequit's coming back at him. He retakes the position. Sequit's up in a second. SSL Mango into third. Ickle Bickle is down to 4th. Tom into 5th. As we see STR Tano moving losing down the order. He's actually left the session. Seems to be an internet bug. As we see Danny Stiller's off the track as well. A possible spin for the Aston Martin driver, as Aston did not have a very good start to the race, but we'll look at Faken. What a great start from the Haas car, up 4 positions, but unfortunately, he's going to be losing the position to Zayek, who now gets into P6. Very good overtake from the Ferrari car. Meanwhile, Not Sir Vapor has moved up the order as well. What a great start from the Alfa Romeo car. He's on the back of Vacant Haddock, who's now trying to pressurize the Ferrari, and Zayek's trying to pressurize the Williams, who's right ahead. Tom trying to keep that position off of the Ferrari in P6, but what a start to the race, and there's I think either a bollard or wing damage on the track there, not exactly sure, but Seb LaFleur leads us away by around 9/10 of a second, followed by Sequin and SSL Mango, who did not have the best to start. He's going to be down to P3. Meanwhile, Zayek is looking for the overtake, pulling to the outside line. Tano, meanwhile, rejoins the session, but he's down at P12. Meanwhile, Zayek gets ahead. Tom trying to come back at him, though, using that more powerful Williams with the better traction. Unfortunately, he's going to lose the position to Zayek, who eventually does get into P5. Very good overtake from the Ferrari. Meanwhile, Faken Haddock sends it down the inside of Williams, and there's a little bit of contact between the two cars. Faken is off the track and loses 3 or 4 positions there. Meanwhile, Viperize is down the order. What happened to the Mercedes car? Not exactly sure, but he's losing time. Meanwhile, 8,000 RPM is into the pit lane for a wing change. Not the start he would have wanted. His teammate, though, is up into 7th place. Great start from one Alfa Romeo. Not the greatest start for the second one. So Tom losing a little bit of time to Not Sir Vapor, who is now 3/10 behind. Look at the slipstream from the Alfa Romeo compared to the Williams, as we see 8,000 RPM. I do believe spinning in the background there. And it has really not been the greatest start for the Alfa Romeo car. Meanwhile, Tano has rejoined the session, and he's back in his car, trying to make his way through the field. That was the worst time for him to have that. Seems like an internet issue as it started, and then he left the session instantly, which is incredibly unfortunate. Meanwhile, SSL Mango is looking for the overtake on Sequin Ickle Bickle in this fight as well. SSL Mango pulls to the inside line. Sequin's going to try and defend this. Mango and Sequin side by side into turn 17 as Mango gets ahead. The overtake is done for the McLaren. Sequin down to the 3rd, and Ickle Bickle might have an opportunity as well to make the move on the Mercedes car, but Sequin pulls ahead, stays ahead by around 6/10 of a second. A very good lap from the Mercedes and the McLaren, as SSL Mango continues to pull away from the Mercedes of Sequin. But we'll see if he will be able to keep the position, because we know Sequin is a very quick driver, and we know he's got some pace down that straight as well. So let's see if he's going to have the opportunity into turn 11, possibly into 17 as well. You can kind of use that second DRS stretch right here as a closing zone to the car ahead, and that's gonna be key, because once you use that as a closing zone, you can make the overtake into turn 17. Of course, if you have the opportunity, you can go for it. Meanwhile, Not Sir Vapor is looking for not 1, possibly 2, though. The Alfa Romeo car possibly making for the move on Zayek. Sequin and Mango also side by side, it looks like, but we have to catch back up to the battle for P5 right now. Not Sir Vapor and the Ferrari of Zayek right ahead of the Alfa Romeo. 2 Italian teams battling it out for P5 in this race. Meanwhile, Shahomi's moving down the order, and Pro Striker. And we also have a great battle going on here for P13, Eat My Dust, and Husky and Elian Bayan. Elian, I do believe, is ghosted, unfortunately. So that is unfortunate for him. Ickle Bickle looking for the overtake on Sequin. Down the inside goes the Red Bull car. The Canadian sends it on the American and gets ahead. But Sequin coming back at him. Ickle Bickle loses time. Spins the car. And thankfully saves the car. But Sequin might have the opportunity. Down to turn 1 we come. The Red Bull is just going to stay ahead, though. So it is Ickle Bickle that keeps ahead of the Mercedes. Meanwhile, the battle for 5th continues on. 3 cars in it. Zayek versus Not Sir Vapor and Tom in the 2nd Williams in P7. SCR Tano is closing in as well. So this might be our closest battle. It's Tom looking for the overtake to the inside line of Not Sir Vapor. Down to turn 7 we come. Who's going to get ahead? It is Not Sir Vapor, because Tom has just got a little bit too much on the power, I think. He didn't have the traction out of that corner. Not Sir Vapor did. and pretty much no ERS for Not Sir Vapor. So that's going to really affect his race, as the Alfa Romeo driver, yet to score points in this season, will look to be scoring some mega points here in Miami. Tom's looking for the overtake to the outside line of turn 16. Eventually does not do it, though. Thankfully, Not Sir Vapor will have the DRS, so he should be able to keep ahead of Tom. But let's find out. Ickle Bickle's also looking for the overtake on SSL. Mango cannot make it. Oh, he's actually going to send it down the inside. What a great move from Ickle Bickle. Is he going to get ahead? Mango and Ickle. Oh, and Ickle spins it. Ickle to spawn the car at the exit. He did a 360. He thankfully saved the car, but he's going to lose so many positions. And Zayak actually is moving down the order, trying to get ahead of that Red Bull. As the two are now side by side, Ickle Bickle trying to maintain the position. This is now a four-way fight as Tom is looking for the overtake as well. That was a very dramatic lap. And Tom is looking for the overtake around the outside of Zayak in the Ferrari. He's not going to make that overtake, though. This is incredible racing between these drivers right here. Ickle Bickle's looking to the inside line, trying to regain positions up into fourth position. Not Sir Vapor still side by side with him. He gets the better traction, like on Tom previously. He's got the better traction ahead, and STR Tano is also in this fight as well. What an incredible overtaking battle this is. Ickle Bickle and Not Sir Vapor side by side down to turn 11. So are the Aston Martin and the Williams, as Ickle will get ahead of Not Sir Vapor. Zayak right there for the taking as well. The Ferrari is right behind the Alfa Romeo and the Red Bull car as well. SCR Tano right ahead of Tom as well, as the Aston Martin will stay ahead of the Williams for the time being. But that was really unfortunate for Ickle Bickle. It was a great move, seriously was, into turn 17. That spin off the exit of, I think it was 18, really prevented him from keeping that position. Not Sir Vapor's defending the inside line as Zayak is actually going to switch it to the outside line, looking for an overtake. As he's now going to look for the switchback maneuver. Unfortunately, gets too much of the power. STR Tano is now on the back of the Ferrari car as the Aston Martin is going to look for the overtake. He sends it to the inside line and keeps ahead. Zayak is coming back at him, though, as the Ferrari is just going to stay behind. Good move from Tano, honestly. That was awesome to see. And Tom is now looking for the overtake as well. Vacant Haddock in this fight. This is absolutely amazing between all these drivers. Zayak is looking for the move. You don't see a lot of side-by-side action here, but it went well, actually. Very good racing. Tom stayed ahead of Zayak. Oh, and Not Sir Vapor's round. Oh, no. It was going all so well for the Alfa Romeo team, but now Vapor moves down to 12th. And that is going to be the end of his battle with Tano and Tom and Zayak and Vacant for what was P5. But he might be able to come back. We'll see. Meanwhile, Tom and Zayak, this is close racing. Zayak keeps ahead, and fair play to both drivers. That was awesome. Awesome racing. And you guys are doing a great job out there. You really are. Tom looking for that overtake, staying right behind that Ferrari. Let's take it on board with the British racing team car. As Tom is just too far behind. I got the feeling he's running a higher downforce setup, because you can tell on the straights, Zayak has got a lot more pace, and you can see Vacant starting to close in as well. So it seems that Tom has got a lower downforce setup. Meanwhile, Acid Masters has made the move on Nair up into 9th position. Those soft tires working out for the Alpine driver, it seems, as he moves into the top 9. Not Sir Vapor trying to come back into this race as well as the Alfa Romeo, looking for the overtake on Xiaomi. P11 currently stays ahead, or sorry, currently stays behind. Xiaomi will stay ahead. It really has been great racing here in Florida. It truly has been. This is awesome racing between everybody. Xiaomi on the back of Nair, who's going to have the DRS from the Alpine, but you can see Xiaomi possibly running a lower downforce setup. You can see the pace from that AlphaTauri coming down to turn 11, round the outside. Go Xiaomi! Is he going to make that overtake? Is Nair going to keep ahead side by side between the two cars as we come into 13? Keep it clean, keep it clean. No way they're going to go side by side. No way. Oh, yeah, it wasn't going to work out. It wasn't going to work out. Thankfully, there was no damage, it seems. Yellow flag, and that is a not Sir Vapor. And it really has been a difficult day for Alfa Romeo. What was going well for one of the cars has turned into utter disaster for both now. Meanwhile, Xiaomi and I are swap positions. That is Acid Master spinning around in the Alpine. Unfortunate to see that from the French mark, as one of their cars is down the order now. But NYR has also dropped off the pace of Xiaomi. It seems there's just too big of a gap for the Ferrari to make a move on the AlphaTauri. Meanwhile, Sevillaflare really dominating this race in P1, 3.6 seconds to the Williams ahead. Mango is starting to gain a little bit of time, it seems, but not enough, really. And the question is, if the rain comes, that could affect the racing as well. Sequid, he is on the medium compound tires. I'm sure he's trying to gain time as well. Ickle Bickle has come back into this race as well and searching for his second podium this season, as he got, I do believe it was second place in Australia. He's now looking for his second podium of the season here in Miami. I do believe there's a great battle going on here for P17. Not Sir Vapor, Husky, and Pro Striker. They are a ways from the pack, but they're having some great action right now as Vapor goes a little bit wide. Husky's to the inside of the Alfa Romeo. The McLaren will just stick behind, but he's going to have the DRS. Pro Striker in the battle as well. So it is a three-way fight for P17 as we see the McLaren around the outside of the Alfa Romeo and gets ahead for now. Vapor's coming back at him, though. Into turn 11 we come. Who's going to get ahead? It's a Husky. Is it Vapor? Is it Pro Striker? They are side by side. You don't see a lot of overtakes into this particular section. Who's going to keep it ahead? It is not Sir Vapor. Clean racing from the three of them, and they will keep it up. Back up to the top of the field now. I think our closest battle really is between NYR and Xiaomi, as Tom gets a 3-second time penalty. That could affect his race results. Hopefully, it doesn't affect it too much, because we want to see Tom very much succeed in this race. Actually, while we're talking about points and all that sort of thing, let's take a look at the championship. Let me just pull it up, so give me one moment here. Okay, so we have the championship standings up on our screen now. Unfortunately, you guys can't see it. Hopefully, I'll be able to get like the OBS or Elgato soon, so I will be able to show you guys. But for now, we do not have that. That is quite all right. The championship leader is still the reserve, Betham. He still leads the championship by, wow, 7 points. 7 points. He currently has 38, followed by Mango, who's in second. Now, currently, with this pace, I do believe Mango will still lead the championship, but Sevillaflare will be so close to Mango as well. So it's either Sevillaflare or Mango leading the championship out of this one. Followed by those two drivers, it is Ickle Bickle in fourth, STR Tano in fifth, Xiaomi in the Mercedes in P6, Vacant in P7, 8,000 RPM in eighth, Zayak in P9, and Asterix Optics in the Alpine, who's in P10. Oh, great battle going on here for P6. Tom and Zayak, Williams v Ferrari, like the old days in 96 and 97. Zayak keeps ahead. Now the question is, did Tom get the DRS? Yes, he did, but I think he's too far behind to make that overtake on the Ferrari of Zayak. So we'll see if the Williams car will be able to make that move into turn 17. Ooh, hits the wall a little bit. Thankfully, he doesn't get too much damage. We have a comment coming in from James, who is our commentator for the Group 1 Championship. No worries, James. I'm sure we'll see you in the next race or two. As we see Tom and Zayak, I think that's kind of our closest battle right here. Actually, no. let me rephrase that, Ickle Bickle and Sequit. That is our closest battle, as the Red Bull is gaining a lot of time. I think Sequit's tires are starting to degrade a little bit, and I think that's preventing him from keeping up with the pace of Mango and Seville Flare and Ickle Bickle, because you can see they are just pulling away, as Ickle Bickle should have the DRS down to turn 11. However, Sequit's a very good defender, and I'm sure he will have a great battle with Ickle Bickle. As Acid Masters comes into the pit lane, he is our first driver to officially make a stop, and unsurprisingly, because he is on the soft compound tires. Meanwhile, we have Tom and Zayak also swapping positions, but I want to keep an eye on the battle here for P3's. Ickle Bickle's going to pull to the outside line. These two will keep it respectable, I'm sure, and they do. Ickle Bickle stay. Oh, actually, a little bit of contact. That forces Ickle Bickle a little bit wide, but I don't think there was any damage or anything like that, so it's all good as Mango gets a 5-second penalty for corner cutting. That is a shock. A very big shock, to be honest. I want to get a replay of that. Unfortunately, we weren't able to catch it on camera, but Mango's now got that penalty. That is unfortunate for the McLaren driver, and that'll put him down into, I do believe, 4th, which will put him outside the podium if this gap stays the same by the end of the race. We'll see. But that's a very unusual penalty, because usually it's a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. That's a 5-second penalty for corner cutting. I need to look into that and see exactly what happened there. Meanwhile, I think our closest battle is between Tom and Zayak, or Sequit and Ickle Bickle. Kind of at a standstill point in the race, but that's okay. You know, we've had a pretty good race, actually. A lot of overtakes, a lot of action, and it's been great to see, you know. And I'm really happy to see that there's not really been any incidents. That's pretty cool. Usually at tracks like this, I've seen a lot of incidents in other leagues, but this is awesome that these drivers are keeping it respectful, and it just shows that this tier is a very quality tier. So Tom will have the DRS down to turn 11. DRS enabled for the Williams car. He doesn't have a lot of ERS though, so that'll really affect his race result and his overtaking power, if you will. Meanwhile, Sequit and Ickle Bickle are about to be joined by Tano, as Ickle Bickle and Mango get penalties. That is actually very crucial for their race result, as both get penalties there. As that'll actually promote Sequit up into 2nd, I do believe, and it will also promote SCR Tano into 3rd, which will be his 2nd podium of the season. And actually, I'm going to do a bit of digging, actually, to see exactly when Sequit's last podium was in LSR. Let me quickly grab everything that I need, results and all that sort of thing. Let me just look through this. Sequit's last podium was I'm looking through the results, that's why I'm making this a long paragraph. Sequit's last podium was round 2 for the Italian Grand Prix in Season 2. That was a very long time ago, to be honest, so that's interesting. As Vacant and Xiaomi side by side into turn 1. Keep it clean, keep it respectful, and they do, very much do. Vacant up into 7th. Meanwhile, Tom is into the pit lane for soft compound tires. That is an interesting strategy by the Williams car. So Tom has come into the pit lane ahead of Eat My Dust, and he gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings as well. That is surprising. So that's going to affect his result in the race. But he's going to exit on the softs. Now, why on earth is he gone for the soft compound tires, you may ask? Well, the only thing there's actually 2 things I can think of. Scenario 1 is that Tom is going for a 2-stop strategy from a medium to a soft to a medium. That's probably hold on a second. SCR Tano, yellow flag in sector 3, I do believe, as he's going to move down the order and around 5 seconds behind Sequit, so it must have been a spin, possibly at turn 17. But going back to what I was saying, the reason why I think Tom is going for that strategy, and it's definitely possible that he's going for that 2-stop, but I think he's going for it because of the rain. Because if you look at the clouds, it is starting to get a little bit darker out there, and we know the rain is coming. To Sequit very late on the brakes there. Thankfully, he doesn't hit the back of the Red Bull. he will stay behind Bickle. But remember, Ickle and Mango both have penalties. So if Sequit just holds this position, holds this gap, he will be on the podium regardless. So it's looking pretty good. And meanwhile, STR Tano is into the pit lane for a wing change and a fresh set of medium compound tires. Very interesting to see that. As he's going to exit just ahead of his teammate, maybe right behind. Danny Stiller is coming through turn 2 now, and Tano keeps ahead. So Danny in P11 is going to have his teammate right ahead. So that's good for Aston Martin, actually, because they're running a pretty good race, I'd say. STR Tano going for a pretty decent result. Danny in the battle for some really good points as well. So Aston Martin looking for some strong points positions in this upcoming race to extend their well, it was going to be P3, but I think it's going to be extending their championship lead because they might be able to take the lead of the championship. Currently, McLaren lead the championship, and then 6 points behind is Williams, and then 1 point behind Williams is Aston Martin. And then Red Bull, actually, Aston Martin, Red Bull, and Haas are all tied on points for 24. That is actually very interesting. We have a pit stop going on here. It is Sequit in the Mercedes onto the hard compound tires. So definitely for a one-stop strategy here from the home hero. As the Mercedes driver is onto the hard compound tires for the first time this race. And he will exit just behind Vacant Haddock in the Haas. And this is actually very good news for Sequit, who will be in that battle for P5, and then he's going to have clear air ahead of him as he's going to have around a 9-second gap to Zayek, and he'll be able to push. Meanwhile, STR Tano, STR Tano spins! Thankfully, he didn't lose too much time, but that is going to cost him just a little bit, and could cost him a position or two. As we have a pit stop, I do believe that is not Sir Vapor in the Alfa Romeo, pitting onto, I do believe, a medium or hard, because the softs most likely cannot go to the end of the race from this point. He is pitting onto a hard compound tire. So the Alpha crew comes out with a hard compound tire, so very interesting to see that. Vacant Haddock and Xiaomi still in that battle for P5. Let's see if Vacant will be able to get ahead of that AlphaTauri. Bickle is into the pit lane for Red Bull Racing. And he is pitting onto the medium compound tires, so this is interesting for the Red Bull. Those will definitely go to the end of the race. Now, Sequit is exiting turn 17 now. Is Bickle going to get ahead, or is it going to be Sequit? The undercut could work out here, but let's just see. Bickle is exiting, and he'll actually come ahead of Xiaomi and Vacant, so that's worked out really well. The overcut has worked out for Bickle, and now gets into P4, which most likely will be P3, because Zayek is yet to pit in this race. So he has jumped Sequit into pit lane, and also, crucially, keeps ahead of the battle for P5. So, good news for Bickle, not so great news for Sequit, but there is a DRS zone coming up, and we know Sequit is on the hard compound tires, and he should have the pace to overtake Vacant and Xiaomi. Look at the pace of the Mercedes car. Vacant's pulling to the outside line. He knows that Mercedes is much faster on those tires, and it is in a very different race as he comes into P6 and ahead of Vacant Haddock. So, very good for Sequit, and it moves him up into 6 and closer to Bickle in that battle for P3. Seville Flare, race leader, into the pit lane. Meanwhile, Sequit gets a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. But the race leader is into the pits for Williams Racing. SSL Mango will take over as the race leader for now. And the Williams will come into the pit lane for the medium compound tires. And he should exit, most likely in second position. Zayek is also coming into the pit lane. Now the question is, where will he exit? Meanwhile, Sequit is looking for the overtake on Xiaomi in the AlphaTauri. Is he going to go around the outside? No, he's going to pull to the inside line. Xiaomi and Sequit side by side. Who's going to get ahead? It is Sequit that gets ahead on those fresher compound tires. And the Mercedes moves up into 4th position. Great overtake from Sequin. That's exactly what he needed to keep in that battle for P3. Now it's all about chasing after Ickle Bickle and getting back in the range because remember, Sequin now has a penalty, so now they're fighting for track position. So that's quite interesting to note. Is that this is all about finishing on track and gives us, the viewers, a better experience and gives us more action to talk about and to experience. Meanwhile, we see SCR, Tano, and Zayek. These two drivers are pretty much on similar pace for this race and definitely are in that battle here for what will be, I do believe, P5. So we're approaching lap 17 out of 29. SSL Mango is yet to pit in this race. Now, is he pitting this lap? No, he stays out for another lap. Now, is SSL Mango going for the soft compound tires and looking for a comeback to try and take the win off of Seville Flare? I don't know. Now, here's the thing, is that once he pits, he's going to be like, I'd say maybe 5 to 6 seconds behind Seville Flare. It's going to be a pretty big gap because a pit stop for a round here is about 20 seconds. And with Seville Flare gaining more and more every single lap, SSL Mango is losing time. So the only two alternatives that I can think of here is that SSL Mango is going for the softs, which is most likely the option here, or he is waiting till the rain, which could come at any moment as well. Meanwhile, battle in the pit lane, Xiaomi and Vacant in the pits for the medium compound tires, or no, it's actually softs for Vacant, softs tires for the Haas car. Now, we can judge this really nicely because we can see how well those soft tires hold, and then we can get some more information for Mango because Mango will be pitting most likely onto the softs in the next few laps. Meanwhile, Danny Stillers and Ellie and Bayan come into the pit lane for Aston Martin and Alpine, respectively. Elian's actually ghosted, so I don't believe that's actually him because he's actually driving with the 31 car, and that is Esteban Ocon's number. So I do believe he is actually not in the session. Let me just take a onboard real quickly. Yeah, I think he's ghosted. I don't believe Elian's actually in the session. Oh, not Sir Vapor. Goes very wide there. Missing his braking point a little bit as Xiaomi and NYR swap positions. Ferrari having a great race today, really are. And NYR and Zayek are now into P6 and P8, so this is going really well. Meanwhile, NYR actually loses a little bit of time because he goes over the bulliard, and now Xiaomi will have the opportunity down to turn 17 using the ERS. Using the ERS, he should get past. This should be a pretty easy overtake for the AlphaTauri driver. Oh, a little bit of lag there, actually, as NYR kind of glitches back. And Xiaomi will pull ahead of the Ferrari. Like I said, kind of an easy overtake there for the AlphaTauri, and Vacant might get in the battle as well on those soft compound tires. And he should have the better grip than the Ferrari because he is on those soft compound tires, and definitely makes sense. He's going to pull to the outside line. NYR does defend, though, very nicely. So this battle will continue. Oh, and virtual safety car. Our first virtual safety car of the day. And I have absolutely no idea why that has happened, but it's happened. Virtual safety car has been called out. No safety car because you can see that there is no yellow dot on screen. Honestly, I wish that the game would just say safety car or VSC. It would be much easier instead of saying sector 1, sector 2, sector 3 yellow flag, because that means absolutely nothing. The only way you can tell is that it's either a yellow dot on screen or not, which is really, really weird, to be honest. I wish that it would be safety car or just VSC. Anyway, this is actually the perfect time for SSL Mango to come into the pit lane, but he has actually chose not to. So that's actually very surprising from the McLaren driver. So I want to go back on to the strategy talk here, because this was probably the best opportunity for SSL Mango to come into the pit lane, but why is he not? Why has he not? Viewers, if you have any idea why SSL Mango didn't pit, let us know down in the comments. We will try and respond. Oh, that is a Mercedes off the track. I do believe that is Viperize in the second Mercedes car. DRS is now enabled. VSC has gone away, and Mango will exit. Now, I honestly think that he's just waiting for the rain, because the perfect time to pit would have been now or the lap ago. So I don't know. I don't know what the strategy is here. So going back to the battle here for P9, we have Vacant trying to go around the outside of the Ferrari of NYR. Ooh, so close to contact. This is awesome racing between these two, though, as we come down to turn 1. Oh, a little bit of contact between the two drivers. There's just not a lot of space to go side by side. Doesn't look like there's any damage, but they did lose about a second to Xiaomi, which is a little unfortunate, but that's okay. NYR and Vacant are going to swap positions there. And Vacant moves into 9th position. He is on those soft compound tires as well, so this should help him out quite a bit. Meanwhile, Tom, he's 8.6 seconds behind Sequid. He is on those soft compound tires and looking for the overtake. Meanwhile, Zayak and STR Tano side by side. We've seen a lot of overtakes right here, as STR Tano will stick it around the outside and keep ahead of the Ferrari for now. Very good. However, Zayak has got no penalty, and Tom is just right up the road as well, so Zayak could be getting P5 in this race, which would be some great points for the Ferrari driver. And, very close. Tano defends the inside. Zayak's going to pull the outside line, and the Aston will stay in P7. Zayak will get into P6, but he actually goes a little bit wide. Tano's back at him. The two are side by side. Oh, a little bit of contact between the two. Tano forces Zayak a little bit too wide there. I think he spun a bit, trying to save the car. But, and Zayak is going to send it down the inside. I think Tano let him through. I think he knew that was, not really the best of an overtake, really. Makes sense. But, yeah, it was a spin. I think it was completely unintentional. But, yeah, it was the right thing to do to let the Ferrari back past. And that's really just a show of respect, really. As STR Tano and Zayak will continue their battle, as the Aston Martin will be looking to make that overtake into turn 11, using a little bit of ERS. All the remaining ERS he's got, he's using it now. DRS enabled as well for the Aston Martin. Zayak, though, has got some serious straight line speed to keep ahead of the Aston Martin. Tano looking at the outside line. He's going to send it around the outside of the Ferrari. Wow, that was a bold overtake from Tano. He's going to keep ahead of Zayak, and that was very courageous, and he made that work. Wow, absolutely awesome from Tano there. However, Zayak will have the opportunity down to turn 17, and he should get the overtake. He's got more ERS as well than Tano. And he's got some serious straight line speed as well. Tano defends the inside liner, and there is the rain. There is the rain. Zayak's going to pull the outside. Should be a pretty easy overtake for the Ferrari driver. He keeps ahead of Tano for now, but look at that. That is the rain on track, and this might have been the perfect time for the rain to come, because Sevelflare is getting too much time, and that is why Mango is staying down, because he can now pit onto the intermediate compound tires, and if this rain falls as heavy as it possibly could, then this may have just won Mango the race. But with Sevelflare gaining time, he is getting into that zone because Mango still has that 8-second time penalty. So that will affect his race. But this will give him the opportunity. It still will give him the opportunity to win it. So let's see. And that is a beautiful camera angle. Look at that. We get to see the driver's eye view as we see the rain also coming down on screen. Here in Miami, it's usually sunny, but sometimes it can rain as well. So today it has rained just a bit towards the end. We had a sunny race pretty much. A cloudy sunny race kind of thing. And now it is coming into a rainy race, which could affect the results of this race. Let's just find out. So SSL Mango coming down to turn 1, 4.3 seconds separating Sevelflare and Mango. Sevelflare really just gaining time on that McLaren as fast as possible. 4.1 seconds to SSL Mango, and he's just gonna gain even more time now. Meanwhile, Tom is moving down the order as we see a three-way fight for P5. Oh, a little bit of contact between the two there. Not sure. As actually, Tom is going to come into the pit lane. And is that for the intermediate tires? I'm not exactly sure. Looks like he was struggling to make that corner into turn 17. Let's see what Tom is doing. He's also struggling with tire grip because he's got really no tires, and it is the intermediates for Tom. He is coming into the pits for the intermediate tires, so he is definitely risking it. And now this is a great benchmark to see exactly what is best. Are the intermediates good? Are they not? As STR Tano is looking for the move on Zayek down the inside into turn 7. These two have had a really great scrap here for P5. As Zayek will keep ahead. STR Tano, he's trying to use that ERS, and if he's going to get past, now's the opportunity, because if the rain gets heavier, the DRS will be disabled, and he won't be able to get past with the DRS assisted. So let's take a look at Tom coming into 7. Doesn't look like he's struggling too much, but going back to the battle for P1, Seville Flare, 3 seconds. He's gaining an entire second on SSL Mango into that lap. Is the rain getting heavier? Let's find out. Oh, it looks to be good, but the track is getting a little bit wet out there. And what about Tom? And also NYR is also pit for the intermediate compound tires. Acid Masters has meanwhile spun the car, so that's going to move him down the order as well. But I got the feeling the intermediates might be the best opportunity right now. If I were Mango, I would pit in the next lap, maybe 2. Because as well, he's got to pit. He has to. There's no other way, because he is not pit yet in this race, which is crazy to think about. So if I were Mango, I'd honestly just pit now and really just risk it. I mean, he's got an 8-second gap to Ickle Bickle. But of course, once he pits, he will lose that. So if I were Mango, I'd either pit this lap or the next one, because you have to pit, and you got to take a risk sometimes. That's just how it goes in racing, because Seville Flare is just gaining so much time. By the end of this lap, he should be within a second to SSL Mango. And also, Mango's got to worry about those tires as well. They could puncture. They could puncture. Oh, that was a spin from SSL Mango. Slightly, a slight spin for the McLaren. Thankfully, he kept it out on track. But he has now lost a lot of time to Seville Flare, who has basically won this race. I think he's done everything he can, and he'll be taking back-to-back wins here in LSR, here in Miami. And it will be an American winning here in Florida, unless something does happen. Seville Flare has to get past Mango as well. Mango, he wants this win. How desperately does he want it, though? Is he going to defend to the point where he kind of blocks Seville Flare? I don't think so. But let's find out. Seville Flare using the ERS, using everything he's got. DRS is still enabled, so this should be a pretty easy overtake for Seville Flare. He's moving to the outside line. For the race lead we come. Not much competition. But Mango is going to try it. No, he actually does not. He's going to back out, and he stays in P2. Seville Flare retakes the lead of the Miami Grand Prix here on lap 25. Meanwhile, Vacant and Xiaomi are pitting onto I think a medium, or actually it's softs for Vacant, softs for Xiaomi. So I think it's not time for the intermediates. I think it is not time. And Mango may have just lost a podium. He may have just lost a podium to Ickle Bickle and Sequit, because he still has to pit in this race. So I'm not sure what's going to happen, because the gap to Sequit, let's take a look at the gap to Sequit. We can get leaderboard if I can. There we go. So the gap to Sequit from Seville Flare is around 19 seconds. So that means around 18 seconds as Mango is into the pit lane now. So SSL Mango comes into the pits, most likely for the intermediate compound tires. Let's find out if he gets ahead of Sequit here. And he's also serving that 5-second time penalty. He's also got 11 seconds. He actually got another penalty, so he's going to move down into 4th because of that. Zayek will be in P5, so Mango will be in 4th regardless. Sequit will be in 3rd. Ickle Bickle will be in 2nd. And now, from this point onwards, it's all about survival. Keep the car on track, because look at the rain now. It is really hitting the track. And if they can just survive, that's all that matters right now. We see Viperize off the track at the last corner. He's coming into the pit lane for, I think, another set of inners or another set of mediums or something like that. STR Tano is into the pit lane. Actually, he's coming out onto the intermediate compound tires ahead of Tom. So he'll come out in P6. Danny Stillers is into the pit lane. Xiaomi will move up into 9th. And Eat My Dust is also in the pits. NYR will jump ahead, I think, of both of them and get into P10, which will be his first points, I do believe, of the season. So I think our closest battle really is the battle for P6, Tom versus Tano. And Tano has cold tires, so Tom will have the advantage here, at least for the first 2 laps. And he's trying to gain time. DRS has still not been disabled, so that's quite surprising, to be honest. As Pro Striker comes into the pit lane, we're seeing pretty much everybody into the pits for the inters. Will the top 3 come into the pits? Sequin does not. Icklebickle and Seville Flare, respectively, do not either. Sequin actually does come into the pit lane. Never mind. He comes in the pits for the inters, so Mango will jump into 3rd now. And Sequin will actually move down to P5 because Zayak will jump ahead. So we're now on lap 27 out of 29. Can these drivers hold us at the end of the Grand Prix? Will they spin? And will SSL Mango get ahead? There's a Ferrari off the track. I do believe, no, that's actually an Alfa Romeo. That is 8,000 RPM. We're not Sir Vapor. Not exactly sure who, but it might be 8,000 RPM. Yes, it is, I do believe. Yellow flag. That is an Alpine. I do believe that is Acid Masters. It is Acid Masters, and he's going to move. Oh, he's actually ghosted out of the session. So both Alpines have ghosted. Vacant into the pit lane now. Onto, I think, an intermediate compound tires. It fully is time for the inters. Xiaomi, I think he's struggling. Yeah, it is definitely time for the intermediate compound tires. That was a smart move from Sequin. Will Icklebickle and Seville Flare follow? Let's find out. This may have just gotten SSL Mango the win. And this might go in. Oh, Alpha spins a bit there. This race may go down in the Season 3 LSR moments at the end of the season because of how dramatic these final 2 laps are. Seville Flare and Icklebickle stay as Acid Masters does retire from the session. And he's going to be our actually first retirement of the race, believe it or not, which is very surprising to see. But out of the front, we are approaching the final 2 laps of this Grand Prix. Seville Flare leads, followed by Icklebickle and Mango. Mango gaining a lot of time now. 8.1 seconds, 8 seconds, 7.9. That is just going to keep changing ever so slightly. 7.6 now. And Sequin will most likely get ahead of Zayak as well, who's struggling on those medium compound tires. However, if Zayak can hold this, he might be able to grab 4th because of that penalty. Sequin's going around the outside of the Ferrari. Oh, and he goes very wide there. He's gonna get ahead though. Wow, that was so close to hitting the wall. I think he slightly tapped it, but it was okay. So he will keep ahead. Zayak is gonna move down the order, and because Sequin has that 3-second, he should still keep ahead because Zayak will most likely lose too much time due to those intermediate compound tires. Meanwhile, SSL Mango has gained so much time, 5.3 seconds now. Let's take a look at the penalties. SSL Mango's got 3 seconds. If he can okay, I don't think he can. I was gonna say if he can overtake Icklebickle and then gain 3 seconds, then he will grab P2, but I don't think he's gonna be able to. It will be, though, a 3rd podium of the season, and he will jump into 2nd in the championship. Seville Flare will take over as championship leader from Betham. And speaking of Seville Flare, he starts the final lap of the first ever Miami Grand Prix. It has been an absolutely amazing race here in Florida. And Icklebickle, Seville Flare, and Mango will be the top 3, most likely. But look at Mango, he's gaining so much time. He actually might have this. He might have 2nd place as Ickle's going too wide. And Mango gets ahead. He slots into 2nd position. And Mango's just losing, Ickle's just losing too much time. Mango, if he can gain around 3 seconds on this lap, he will have 2nd place. And what a race this is going to be for Mango if he does that. 1.2 seconds to Icklebickle. 1.3, 1.4, 1.5. Final few corners for Seville Flare in the Williams. So on board with the Williams driver coming through The final couple of corners really struggling for grip, but it won't matter. Ickle Bickle, 2 seconds now. Mango's just got to grab around a second to the Red Bull driver. He's already gained 5/10 in that corner. Now 2.7, 2.8. 3 seconds, he's got it. I think he has got it. As NYR and Xiaomi swap positions as well. But here comes Sevoflare. Here comes Sevoflare. It has been an absolutely amazing race for him. He did not start on pole like in Saudi Arabia, but he led into turn 1, and he's going to lead this race. Sevoflare, he is going to come out of the final few corners, just inching to the line now. He won in Saudi Arabia. He wins in Miami. Sevoflare wins the first race here in Florida for LSR, and he takes the lead of the Group 1 Season 3 Championship. SSL Mango, what a race from him. Will finish in second position and will grab his third podium of the season. Ickle Bickle will grab P3, a great recovery drive after his small spin that he had. And a great 360 as well. He saved that car and got it up onto the podium. Sequit will finish P4. STR Tana will finish in P5. Zayak will finish 6th. Tom in P7. NYR in P8, I do believe. As actually, Zayak will grab P5 because STR Tano had a penalty, I do believe. But wow, what a race from everybody today. Great race from Ferrari as well, and Williams. I do believe we were just waiting on the final few cars. NYR coming to the line now for Scuderia Ferrari, followed by Xiaomi and Danny Stillers. Danny will actually, I think, get ahead of NYR. But let's find out. NYR to the line now. Xiaomi to the line. He will jump ahead. And Danny Stillers, I do believe, will jump ahead as well. And maybe even Vacant Haddock. No, Vacant will stay in P11. But here is your race winner. Sevoflare wins the Miami Grand Prix and takes his second win of LSR and this season as well. Takes the lead of the championship. What a commanding drive from Williams and from Sevoflare. Danny Stillers is our driver of the day, and he will score, I do believe, P9 in the race. So more points for the Aston Martin team. But what a race. What a race in Miami. Awesome racing from everybody today, and really just great to see that. So here is your winner of the race, Sevoflare. The Williams driver did everything to win this race. McLaren and Red Bull on the podium as well as SSL Mango and Ickle Bickle make it up onto the podium here in Miami. But what a race. What a race here in Miami, Florida. As round 3 really showed that I had the pace, and this is really consistent here. It's turning out to be an awesome group of drivers, and who knows what can happen from here. Many more races to go, as we have 12 more races of the Season 3 Championship, but this one clicks off the book. So SSL Mango started on pole but finishes in second. It is Sevoflare that wins the race, took the lead at the start, and also grabbed the fastest lap of the race. He wins this race. SSL Mango in P2, Ickle Bickle in P3, Sequin in P4, Zayak in P5, Tano P6 for Aston Martin, Tom in P7. Williams grab double points and the most points for the team, as Xiaomi will grab P8. His points will go to Mercedes, actually, instead of AlphaTauri. Danny Stillers will be P9, and NYR grabs P10. Eat My Dust for Red Bull will finish in P11, followed by Vacant Haddock, Elian Byan, 8,000 RPM, Pro Striker, Not Sir Vapor, Viperize, Husky, and Aston Masters, who was our sole DNF of the race. But wow, what a race here in Miami. Absolutely phenomenal. Actually, I'm going to see if I can get our drivers in here for a quick interview. So just give me a moment as I try and contact them. Let's see if anybody would want to join. And who was our other podium finisher? Ickle Bickle. All right, so that was the race. What an exciting one here in Miami. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We still have some more. We're just trying to see if anybody is joining the interviews. I'm just trying to find out if they are. They're currently discussing the race. Of course, they're talking about everything that happened in the Grand Prix, so I'm not sure if they saw my message. Mango, unfortunately, cannot. All good, no worries. And let's just see if Sev or Ickle cannot. Ickle cannot either, all good, and neither can Sev. Okay, no worries, all three will continue on. So we're just gonna head into the end of this one. I'm wondering if the lobby will end. I don't know if it will end. But anyway, I think that concludes everything, actually. So, unfortunately, we weren't able to get our top 3 in here for the interviews, but that is quite okay. We will move on to the next one. And speaking of the next one, join us tomorrow for the Group 2 race in Saudi Arabia. We should be having that one streamed, so that'll be awesome if you guys can all turn in for that one. Same exact time, 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 4 p.m. Eastern Time for everybody on the East Coast, and I do believe it's 9 o'clock BST for everybody in Britain, and then 10 for everybody else in Europe. But yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. That was round 3 of the Season 3 Championship here in Miami. I've been formerly the junior commentator for the event, and I will continue to commentate for the league as best as I can. I can't make every race, but I'll try as best as possible. You may be wondering, what is the next race? Well, we're heading to Spa next week for the Belgian Grand Prix. It will be a great race in Belgium, but of course, Miami doesn't end. Group 2 will be racing in Miami next week, so we'll be hopefully streaming that one as well, and we can see what the Group 2 drivers think of the Miami International Autodrome. So anyway, thank you so much for watching, and please make sure to subscribe and like if you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you all in the next one. Goodbye.